Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited about today's video because we are going to be making a colorful paper lamp. So before we start, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn on the notifications. Without further ado, let's dive right into the DIY. To create our paper lamp, I took some parchment paper and cut out 4 rectangular pieces. Each piece was 14 cm long and 10.5 cm wide. Next, I grabbed a bunch of colored tissue paper pieces and picked these 4 colors. I added one more color which you'll see later in this video. Now I'm dividing the tissue paper into 4 equal sections. I'm using a ruler to mark 3.5 cm intervals along the edge of the paper. Next, I'm taking the ruler and gently pressing it along the marks to create creases. These creases will help to make the section stand out clearly. Following the creased lines, I'm tearing the paper into strips. I didn't use scissors because I wanted the edges to look more textured. To ensure a straighter tear along the crease, I am using my finger as a guide to help the paper follow a more consistent line. After tearing the strips, I'm taking a piece of parchment paper and taping it down with 2 pieces of washi tape. I'm making sure only to cover the bare minimum of the edges with tape without going overboard. The strips I tore weren't enough to cover the entire area of the parchment paper, so I'm tearing 4 more strips from the sky blue tissue paper. I grabbed Mod Podge and applied a thin layer to the area where I wanted to place the first strip. Since I'm going for an ombre effect, I started by adding the purple strip and sticking it down. To create a seamless transition, I applied a little Mod Podge along the edges of the purple strip and placed the blue strip below it. I made the strips overlap a little bit. I'm layering the rest of the colored strips onto the parchment paper, blending them seamlessly to create a smooth ombre gradient. Once all the strips are in place, I'm carefully peeling off the washi tape and trimming any excess paper along the edges for a clean finish. I have some leftover pieces with straight edges, so I'm tearing them to give them a more handcrafted look. I kept gluing the colored papers onto all 4 pieces of parchment paper. After peeling off the tape, I'm adding a bit of Mod Podge along the edges of the tissue paper to make sure they stick well to the parchment paper. Once the glue has dried, I'm moving on to the next step. To create frames for our paper lamp, I'm using coffee sticks. First, I'm applying wood glue on the coffee sticks and then sticking them along the longer edges of the paper on the 2 opposite sides. I'm ensuring the glue is spread evenly by using another coffee stick to smooth it out. Next, I'm trimming off the excess ends of the sticks with scissors. I'm taking another coffee stick and first cutting off its rounded edge to straighten it. Then I'm placing it along the width of the paper positioned between the 2 longer sides. After marking the length I need, I'm trimming off the excess for a perfect fit. Then I'm applying glue to the stick and attaching it along the width of the paper. Be sure to wipe off any excess glue to keep the edges tidy. I'm repeating the same steps for the opposite side as well. Now that we have framed all the 4 pieces, I noticed they became a bit warped. To flatten them out, I placed some heavy books on top and let them sit for a few hours. To build the base for our paper lamp, we'll be working with popsicle sticks, each measuring 10.5 cm in length. I arranged 11 pieces side by side, making sure they were aligned to form a square. Then, to keep them securely in place, I'm using wood glue and attaching 2 more sticks horizontally across the back. This will help holding everything together and add extra stability. I'm pressing them down firmly for a while to ensure a strong bond. Now I'm going to assemble the frame paper panels for our lamp. To make sure everything is aligned perfectly, I'm using a wooden cube as a guide to keep the pieces perpendicular. First, I'm taking 2 panels and applying the glue along the edge of one. Then I'm carefully joining it to the other panel, making sure the edges line up perfectly. I'm holding them in place for a couple of minutes to let the glue set and create a secure hold. Next, I'm taking the third panel, applying glue along its edge and attaching it to the opposite side of the panel that is lying flat. Now I'm applying glue to the edges of the vertical panels and adhering the 4th panel. Gluing down this panel is a bit tricky since it keeps wobbling, so I'm starting to secure one side first, then carefully working my way to the other side to make sure it stays in place. To assemble the lampshade to its base, I'm going to use wood glue as well. I'm applying the glue to the bottom of the lampshade and securing it to the base, making sure the edges line up properly with the base. We want to hold everything down for a while until the lampshade sticks to the base. For the final touch, I'm adding some LED fairy lights inside the lamp. And that wraps up our DIY colorful paper lamp. I really love how the ombre hues on the lamp resemble the beautiful shades of a sunset. That's all for today. I really hope you liked the DIY. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and you can also follow me on Instagram at DustyHues. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.